The Crystalline Crag is a map which showcases possibilities for competitive strategy games in Battlezone Redux, both in terms of cosmetics and functionality. So I figured I'd put together a quick overview of its new features here. The map currently utilizes the experimental branch of the strategy balance patch, with some minor quality of life tweaks and adjustments thrown in. The changes start at the vehicle selection screen. I'll eventually fix the overly bright tanks. It's due to limitations of the UI here that have to be worked around in order to get around it. But regardless, the starter vehicle you choose automatically gets upgraded to be roughly balanced around the standard tank. Scouts, for example, get dual mag cannons and a rocket. Fighters get dual SP stabbers and a tag cannon. Bombers get additional hull, ammo, and firepower, etc., etc. Even picking a scav or tug can be worth it because they get unique traits and can significantly boost your early game resource advantage if you're willing to risk being attacked early. AI behavior got some tweaks to optimize gameplay for both players. Under normal circumstances, if you order a production unit to go to a geyser, it will travel there at an excruciatingly slow cruising speed. On this map, as long as the producer has line of sight, it will travel to that geyser at maximum speed and automatically deploy when it's close enough. This producer behavior also extends to nav beacons, which greatly reward players for multitasking effectively. One of the very first things that you'll notice on the map are the numerous ComSat relays. These allow you to move your units practically anywhere on the map. Just drive up to one, turn your vehicle around, and you can command units to go to it using the Alt key. You can use these to coordinate pincer attacks, get production units to a specific location quickly, spy on your opponent, or allow your wingmen to lead an attack at full speed. The blue ComSats placed around the bridge areas cannot be targeted by other ComSats, but if you use them directly, they yield radar coverage for most of the map while you are next to it. The next major new thing that you'll see on the map are the crystals. These are respawning entities distributed across the map, which yield scrap when recycled by a constructor. Tugs play a far more important role on this map because they can haul these crystals to your constructor, and they've also been programmed with logic to automatically pick up crystals that are near them. I would say that tugs and ComSat relays mix quite well on this map. In general, the crystal component was introduced to serve a number of important gameplay functions. For one, it pressures defensive players to attack decisively at least once to win. In all versions of the game, including the current iteration of the Strat Balance patch, if you attack your opponent, it doesn't matter how much destruction you caused because your opponent gets all of the scrap from both your offensive units and the stuff you destroyed. In most scenarios, if you try to launch a major attack without howitzers, you risk becoming bankrupt from it and basically have no way to recover if that attack fails. The game is set up to always favor the defending player quite heavily. The Crystalline Crag makes it so that all units only drop a small fraction of their scrap cost when destroyed, so not only will it be more difficult for a defender to recover towards mid-game, when all of the regular scrap in the field is gone, but if they're not controlling the map and the crystals, you will eventually break their defenses with repeated attacks. The income from collecting the scrap from your destroyed units is not going to sustain their rebuilding efforts. Okay, let's talk about the next major new feature. That is the Armory interface. Hitting the minus key will present you with a menu which you can control with the arrow keys. Pressing tab will exit the menu. For this panel to do anything useful, you must have a deployed Armory. Here's how it works. Select your unit. You can also hold down Control and press up or down for quick swapping. Say that I want to upgrade my scouts so that they all come equipped with a tag cannon when built. I'll just select the scout, navigate to rockets, pick the tag cannon, and then hit the on switch. Now, every scout that I build will deduct the cost of the tag cannon from my scrap count to equip my scouts with it as they are built. You can visually see which units you've upgraded in your offense menu. Note that your opponent will not see these updated names. The change is visible only to you. Some units get special perks when using this system due to some or all of their weapon swap options being side grades. Bombers, for instance, may be equipped with any rocket at no cost. Walkers and howitzers can swap any weapon for free. Free swaps are indicated if present in the upper right target visual. This feature was put in place because, in general, the Armory is just extremely tedious and time-consuming to use for anything other than upgrading the player's tank, to the point to where using it for your wingmen can often cost you the game. With this user interface, if you aggressively collect resources on the map, your ability to spend that scrap is no longer bottlenecked by the slow travel time of the launched power-ups, combined with the need to micromanage those units to equip those power-ups manually. Furthermore, this gives players a reason to want to prioritize the Armory as a key target, as your enemy can't upgrade their units this way if they don't have one. The geysers on this map are also sparsely placed to begin with, so locking down geysers can effectively win you games under certain circumstances. The last major feature on this map, which isn't just cosmetic, consists of bridges and caves, which can be destroyed. You can also, of course, travel over these, but they also serve as a temporary protection against howitzer attacks. Bridges and cave ceilings can be your friend or your enemy depending on the context. Getting ejected into it will almost guarantee your death in most scenarios, but it can also save you by giving you something away from the ground to land on. On a semi-related note, these speed boost areas which lead to the bridges will propel you in the direction that you are facing. These only work on the player unit. My advice is to avoid accelerating while entering the speed field. Otherwise, it might destroy your tank and then instant kill you. Okay, that does it for the map overview. Admittedly, I don't expect the big changes to be super popular, but at the very least it serves as a solid proof of concept that showcases certain gameplay mechanics, which could add a lot of depth to the strategy element of the game.